Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about some of the updates that Aprilia brought to the Sepang test. Now, one of the first things that I did notice was the front wing, and here you will see that they've decided to stick with the twin element front wing. It is still curved. It is very similar to the one they were running. However, they now have decided to tie in the outer edges of the wing back into the front fairing. And I do think this is pretty interesting, and you can see definitely Aprilia have spent a lot of time in checking this out and bringing an update to the front wing. Another area where I noticed that they were spending some time is on the fork winglets, like most teams are now running. But here you will see the old ones, and as you can see, they're quite similar to an awful lot of the other teams. The newer ones that they were running, you could definitely see there's a lot more thought and definitely work in the tunnel and CFD to get these right, but they definitely look a lot different. Now, one of the big points that Aprilia were working on is definitely the diffuser type side pods that they have pioneered. Here you will see from the front wheel, you will see the little bit of aero at the bottom of the wheel, deflecting it onto the belly pan. And as you can see with the belly pan, it's shaped perfectly to receive it. Now from the other side, you'll see that it is a little bit better. You can see that it is being pushed onto the belly pan. There are some vents towards the bottom, but just where the case writing is there, you'll see that the fairing is sucked in more to the bike. Just above it as well, there's a little ridge, and above that ridge there is a bigger ridge, just say at ankle height of the rider's foot. And what this actually is my understanding is that when the bike is leant over, it is trying to capture as much air in that gap to increase the downforce. The swing arm area also has got pretty busy for Aprilia. As you can see, they have the two cooling vents, but also I believe one of these is to help energize the rear diffuser that is on the rear cowling. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, but you'll also see the two little side wing that is just above this on the swing arm. You will also notice what looks like a wheel cover, but it's just an attachment onto the side of the swing arm, and this, my understanding, would be where the air comes in by the case sign there. It's to streamline it coming out of the back of the bike, as you can see here. It is definitely just to reduce the drag caused by the rear wheel, but it's attached to the swing arm. One of the next things that was quite noticeable on the Aprilia was the Batmobile style rear cowling, and here you can see how the back of it looks like a diffuser. And if you could imagine that the bottom skirts that are under the swing arm are pushing air up and it's energizing this diffuser. The air is energized coming out of it, again reducing drag, pulling the back of the bike down as well to aid traction coming out of the corners. But I suppose the part of this that really broke the internet really was when they put the aero rake on it. And this is all about understanding the airflow over the back of the rider and trying to connect it. As you can see, the top of this rear seat cowl, it's all about attaching that air again. If you can imagine, the air coming over the back of the rider is swirling and creating drag, and what they're trying to do is to get that air to come back down and channel it out the back of the bike to reduce the drag caused by the rider. It is an absolutely amazing concept that they're coming up with. It's really, really interesting how they're trying to use vortexes and a gurney flap at the end of it. As you would believe, it would be smooth at the end of the rear tail section, but there, as you can see here, there is some carbon fiber sticking straight up just in between where the two ridges are at the top. Overall, I think Aprilia are probably the leaders so far in what we've seen aerodynamically. They've really spent an awful lot of time in the wind tunnel and with the CFD. So I don't think we're fully finished seeing what they have yet, if you get me. I think they have a little bit more to go, but things are definitely looking good on the aero side for Aprilia. Problem is, Maverick doesn't seem to be getting on with it. Neither does Raul, who looped himself. Miguel Oliveira is not really gelled with it either. The only rider that has gelled with it is Aleix Espargaro. But overall, I think Aprilia have brought the most updates to the test. Definitely really interesting to understand the concepts that they're trying to do. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think is the most fascinating concept that Aprilia brought to the Sepang test? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.